Welcome to Off-Grid Victory. So today we're doing some tree planting. It's fall tree planting. Now the fall is probably the better time to plant trees than the spring, but you get limited selection in the fall, and a lot of the big box stores won't carry that many fruit trees during that time. Mostly it comes in the spring, but once again, fall is probably better because the leaves will then shed, and you'll be in the rain cycle again of seasons. And of course, in the winter, the trees will be dormant, so it'll be ready for the spring and water again. So fall is a good time to plant. Now, most of my trees were planted in the spring just because of the availability. And so that's one of the things I'd like to talk to you about. But one of the things that you definitely get from a big box store versus, let's say, a local nursery, a good nursery that starts their trees from seeds or instead of grafts. And so the main thing today, I wanted to talk to you about grafted trees and kind of the downfalls of that grafted tree, and also the benefits of that grafted tree. And in my particular case, since a lot of my, or most of my trees are grafted trees, they both come from the big box stores as well as the local nurseries, but mainly from the big box stores. And this particular one over here that I've replanted is from Lowe's. The reason why I like these trees from the big box stores is they have a 1-year guarantee on their trees. So if it dies within a year, then you can just return it. So the nice thing about getting these trees, let's say in the spring when they're abundantly available, is that if they don't make it through the summer, well, in the fall you can return them and either get another tree, or you can wait almost a year until the next spring and then return those trees for refund and go ahead and purchase your new trees again. So that's the one nice thing about the big box stores. But the downfall is, like I said, the tree in itself. A grafted tree versus a tree that is started from seed. Now, the benefits are, well, they're easier to propagate. A graft, the roots are themselves are very strong, and it guarantees the fruit or the quality of the fruit you're going to get from the actual graft stem. And so that's why most trees come grafted. And that's how come the big box stores carry grafted trees. And so if you look at the base of this trunk, you'll see a notch, and then so a bigger matter of a trunk base, and then a graft coming off of that. And that's going to ensure that the variety of fruit you're getting from the tree is consistent and tasty and all of that good stuff. And so those are the benefits of a grafted tree. The problem with grafted trees is what I'm about to show you next. And so this is a grafted tree, 2 remnants that didn't make it. And now you might say, hey, that looks like there's a growing plant there. Sure, there is, but the graft themselves broke and they did not survive. So you can see right here on this trunk base, for instance, this is where the graft started. This is an offshoot. The graft started right here, and here's the remainder of this tree, which was all dying over here. That was, part of that tree. So the graft is very weak, and sometimes the parent plant, in its quest to live, to survive, will send out a shoot like this below the graft point. And so this particular tree, whatever it becomes, this one in particular was a Fuyu persimmon tree, but is this going to be a Fuyu persimmon? I have no idea. I mean, in terms of the tree itself, the leaves are persimmon, and the problem with these trees is I've had these for 2 years. So like I said, this is the problem with the graft. It was doing really well the first year. It made it over a year, as you can see, that thing growing. It even had some fruit on it. However, it died this summer. And this summer was particularly harsh here in terms of rainfall. And so that might have been the reason. I mean, the Ozarks, it really is a land of extremes. So we get very hot temperatures, cold temperatures, dry seasons, very wet seasons, all of the above. So I like to buy trees that can survive all of that. So yes, I take care of it initially, but after that, they're on their own. And if they don't make it within a year, I usually end up returning it like this guy and then get another one from Lowe's. And so, yes, grafted trees, those are the pros and the cons. The cons are like this. Now, you know, this tree in itself is not dead. Now, what I'm going to get out of it, yeah, only Yah knows. But in terms of this particular trees, these two trees, yes, they're alive, but the original tree that it was supposed to give fruit off of is dead. So the grafted portion of it is dead, and so I'm left with these to work with. And so yeah, that's the problem with grafted trees. You know, they want to live, and sometimes a graft is the thing that the tree itself decides to get rid of because it can't make it under extreme conditions. So in this particular case, in these two cases, yeah, the tree really wanted to live, so they sent out offshoots. Once again, let me show you that. Offshoots directly off the main tree or trunk or the root base, and the graft itself, well, it died. So yeah, grafted trees. And yeah, what is that thing? It's a little bumblebee here. Foreign invader, eh? At any rate, yes, that's the warning of grafted trees. And so the only grafted trees, these particular ones, I would not recommend getting from the big box stores is this variety, the Fuyu persimmon tree from Lowe's. So I would not get that in the Ozarks because it's not going to make it. Even if it makes it after a year, it may not make it the next year like these guys. So unfortunately, I can't return these, but it was a learning lesson and a video for you guys. Alrighty, shalom.